Hey fellas, this is Collin here and watching Magic Strawberry. Obsidian has had many ups and downs since their founding in 2003, with many of their successes coming in lieu of licensed properties such as South Park, Star Wars, and of course Fallout. Their initial effort to create original titles left much to be desired, however, with Alpha Protocol being critically derided upon its release after a troubled development cycle. With the studio hitting hard times around 2012, due in part to not receiving their bonus from Bethesda since Fallout New Vegas failed to obtain an 85 on Metacritic, Obsidian was forced to resort to crowdfunding to fund their next original IP, Pillars of Eternity, a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. Obsidian's Kickstarter campaign managed to raise $4 million, the most ever for a crowdfunded video game at the time, and it was released to rave reviews in 2015. Jump forward to 2019, Obsidian releases perhaps what may be known as its triumph. Backed by their new acquisition by Microsoft and critical goodwill, Obsidian crafts the Fallout, Bioshock, and Firefly hybrid none of us knew we wanted, but are certainly glad to have. This is The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds resembles Fallout quite a bit, and for good reason. Obsidian did, after all, develop New Vegas, which some consider to be the best in the Fallout series. But The Outer Worlds was also co-directed by Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky, the creators of the Fallout franchise. Not to sound reductive, but The Outer Worlds almost plays exactly like Fallout New Vegas in space in all the right ways. Drama and comedy are intertwined so delicately that it never feels like the game has any cheap tonal shifts, and the environments are so vast and full of intrigue that it makes it almost impossible not to investigate any abnormalities or a newly discovered community, all of which are governed by differing philosophies and push different agendas. And you can bring up to 2 companions with you when you explore or engage in combat, and you choose who gets to go with you in a party selection screen, not too dissimilar to Mass Effect. Furthermore, when you acquire companions, you get the option to let them join your crew and your spaceship that's appropriately named the Unreliable, and you can live out your Firefly-inspired Western space opera fantasy. Unfortunately, Obsidian also carries over Fallout's wonky combat that's saved via time-bending mechanic, in this case being the tactical time dilation that allows you to literally slow down time. The caveat being that the meter will run out faster if you move, or slower if you stay still. I will say one thing that distinguishes The Outer Worlds from Fallout, and that's its color palette when applied to its textures and atmospheres. While it won't blow you away graphically speaking, you'll still be left in awe whenever you gaze up into the horizon, or the northern lights, or another planet in the near distance. The Outer Worlds also doesn't take place in one open world, rather it operates as a quasi-open world game like The Witcher 3, in which you travel to different open world hubs or planets via the Unreliable. The Outer Worlds is a pure Western RPG which feels all too rare in this current gaming landscape. The tropes are all there, branching dialogue with persuasion and intimidation options, an expansive inventory system that Obsidian lets you sort in relation to each item's value and weight, and in true Fallout fashion, side quests that are almost as intriguing as the main campaign itself. Though I will say that the main quests actually deserve your undivided attention, in which I experienced slight disappointment in grinding through some of the side quests before attacking the main quest line. With that said, the side quests pull their weight and prompt you to make harrowing choices that could potentially change the social landscape around you. Almost everything can be altered and almost everything is in your control, as a good RPG should be. It's just too bad that the character creator is serviceable at best, but you play in first person anyhow, so it's not like you're going to become familiar with the visual of your character. The Outer Worlds doesn't reinvent the wheel, but most things it does pitch perfectly. This is an Obsidian RPG through and through, but what's refreshing is that in my experience, there have been 0 game-breaking bugs, only the occasional late texture pop-in, but that's it. Otherwise, you'll have a blast traveling to different worlds, interacting with your ship's AI and companions, upgrading your character as you engage with different marauders and alien creatures, and forging relationships along the way that vastly changes the landscape as you advance through the game. Quite simply, I couldn't be happier about Obsidian, and I'm glad I can enjoy this type of RPG without the Bethesda baggage. I give The Outer Worlds a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching Magic Strawberry. Feel free to hit the like button down below, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Twitter at ZTVGoofingOff. See ya!